I was going to use Moon Knight for this game, trying to get those achievements, but then I saw that one of my teammates was using Bucky. So I said, let me try to get the achievement with Black Widow for getting 1 KO with Bucky. Because I figure if I play an entire game, I should be able to do that. Every character in this game has 2 achievements. One of them is simple like that, something pretty easy. The other one is usually difficult. For Black Widow, her difficult achievement is to get 3 critical kills in 1 game. Get 3 headshots. I don't have the best aim, and I don't know what I'm doing with Black Widow, so I didn't think I was going to be able to get the difficult one in this game. I was just going for the easy one. Because in order to get all of those units in the heroic journey, you don't need to get every achievement. You can leave a few of them, and you'll still have enough points for the units. Yeah, the title at the end, you need every single achievement to get that, but I didn't really care about the title. But as this game went on, I realized, okay, I'm getting a lot of kills. So maybe I can actually knock this out too. And that's exactly what ended up happening. I got both of these achievements with my first game playing with Black Widow. I have no idea what I'm doing, but I got both of them and I knocked them out. So it was such a relief because the achievement journey, a lot of them are really tough. And you get frustrated trying to do them, and you really don't want to play with a lot of these characters as you're trying to get them. Because it's annoying. It's like, I don't like this character, but I got to try to force this to make this happen. So when I got this done in 1 game, it's like, yes, I don't have to use Black Widow anymore. Although, I kind of like Black Widow because her scope, it is a hit scan, which means wherever you aim, the bullet arrives immediately when you press the trigger. So when you're going up against flyers, you're trying to get flyers out of the sky, I find it easiest to do it with her because you hit them 1 time and it's like half of their health is gone. If you get a headshot, sometimes they might go down to the ground, period. And because her sniper scope has that zoom on it, because a lot of the flyers, especially the good flyers, they're dancing in midair. So when you're trying to hit them with Hawkeye and Hela, they're going up and down, left and right. A lot of times, by the time you charge up the bow and you release, it doesn't hit them where you thought it was going to hit them. They're moving to the side. But I find that with her, when I'm going up against the flyers, I'm just able to get them up out of there because even when they're dancing, the zoom in, it's like it doesn't matter if they move to the left or the right because I'm still zoomed on their body, which is kind of funny. So if I do see flyers and nobody on my team is trying to get them up out of there, they're not even looking up, I will switch over to her to see if I can do something. Because a lot of my losses in competitive, most of my losses come, I would say probably 80% of them come to teams with flyers because nobody on my team is looking up. And that's why I'm excited to try out Ultron. Even though I know a lot of people, they're saying from the previews that he doesn't look that good. His healing looks bad. His damage looks bad. But if he can get the flyers out of the sky, then that's enough for me to pick him because nobody on my team ever looks up. They never shoot up. And the flyers, they never have any damage. They always have full health. No one is ever shooting them. So if I can get them up out of there with Ultron, then I'll just switch over to Ultron. I'll still do a little bit of healing, you know, something light. But I'm going to see if it works out for me. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe he's trash, but you never know. Maybe they're going to buff him. Because if he's trash, they'll probably buff him, and then maybe he will be able to get those flyers up out of the sky. Now, the other 20% of my losses that come in competitive, they're happening when there's major dysfunction on my team with the lineups. So before, the biggest problem used to be that nobody wanted to play strategist. I'd play as Cap or as Penny, sometimes Emma, or even Magneto, and we would always have 2 tanks, but we wouldn't have any strategist. So we would lose games because nobody, right? I even uploaded that video where we had 2 strategists, but then as the game went on, both of the strategists, they switched off to duelist characters. Then we had nobody healing. I've shown videos of this already. So because of that, I decided to learn to play strategist because I figured, hey, if that happens in those games, I'll just switch to the strategist and at least we'll have 1 healer. At least we'll have 1 competent healer out there. Because sometimes you have healers, but they're not healing. There's nobody diving, they're not getting dove, but they're just not healing. So if I play strategist, at least I know we're gonna have 1 person trying to keep everybody alive, trying to keep those tanks alive, trying to keep our team aggressive so we can push forward. But now the problem that I'm having, because I'm in that Plat 3 range, and actually I've gone up to Plat 2 for the first time. I did go back down to Plat 3, but I did rise up to Plat 2. So now I know that I'm making progress, because even in the games when I'm losing, I'm putting up better numbers in the loss than I used to. Because normally when I would lose, I would have absolutely terrible games all the time when it's a loss. But now it's like sometimes I'm going 27-8 in the loss. Sometimes I'm getting the SVP when we lose. So I know I've made some gains, but it's still frustrating because now nobody wants to play tank. Does that make any sense? Before, we used to have 2 tanks. Nobody wants to play strategist. Now I'm playing strategist. I'm doing great with Loki. I'm going crazy. And now we don't have any tanks. And it's funny because sometimes we'll have 3 healers. We'll start the game, no tanks. There's 3 people healing. It's like, what's going on? Can these people in the solo queue make up their mind? Before, nobody wanted to be a strategist, so I learned strategist, and now nobody wants to be a tank. And then the funny thing is, when I see 3 strategists, no tank, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go tank because the healing's gonna be taken care of. Then I go to tank, and they're not healing. And they're not getting dove because before I switch, we were all healing. When I was on Loki, nobody was diving. They don't even have a Spider-Man or an Iron Fist or anything. But now that I'm Magneto and I'm in the front solo tanking, nobody's healing. So we can't push up. What is going on in the solo queue? This is seriously a conspiracy. And look at the other team. Look at how everybody's just constantly jumping. Even the Thing is out here jumping. I guess because I've been sniping, I've been slicing and dicing. So they figure if they jump, maybe I can't get the headshot. I mean, I don't know. Look, even even Doctor Strange is jumping. Get down to the ground. Another critical hit. Wow, this lobby was hilarious. Seeing everybody jump up. And we are going to lose this round, though. That's tough. We won the first round. The second round we're going to lose. But I'm going to let that fly. Let's see if we can capture this. But the solo queue experience is just really, it doesn't make any sense. Because I had another game recently where I'm healing. I'm on Loki. And we have another healer. We're both doing a good job. We're healing. And we're on that Midtown map. That Manhattan map. They come out of their spawn. And our Magneto, for some reason, even though we're healing him, he's not losing any health. He just starts backing up. He backed up around the corner, around the other corner, and then he backed up and they captured the first point. And the whole time, I'm thinking, why are you backing up? You're being healed. You're not losing any health. You're Magneto. You have 2 shields. You have the bubble. You got the shield. Do damage. Aim at their support, right? Why are you backing up like that? It makes no sense. So as we just keep backing up and back, I'm wondering, why am I even healing this noob? Why, if he's just going to keep backing up? What are you doing? You're not losing any health. You have 650 health. You can take a few shots. You're good. You're getting healed. You're getting insta-healed. We're going crazy. What are you doing? It makes no sense. It's like the strategy part. In the solo queue, the players are just so bad. Why are they that bad? Strategy-wise, it makes no sense. They don't look up at the flyers. They never even shoot at the flyers. I'm losing the majority of my games like that. Then when you have the dysfunction where people don't want to tank, they don't want to be a strategist, everybody wants to be a duelist. What is going on? Because when it comes to flyers, it's the responsibility of the duelist to get the flyers out of there. If you're playing a tank, you can't do anything to the flyers. And if you're playing a strategist, you can't really do anything to the flyers either, except for maybe Adam Warlock. Mantis can do a little something, but everybody else, you can't really go get the flyers. Well, now Ultron's out, so that's why I think Ultron, hopefully he's good, because I need something. I'll win a lot more games if we can stop that Storm or that Human Torch or that Iron Man from basically going almost flawless and just doing whatever they want. And I think one of the issues too, because I'm wondering, how do all these bad players that never look up, how are they in this ranking if they never look up? But apparently, when you have a really good game with a duelist, you could get a score up to like 47. You could go up plus 47. Let's say I get an MVP with Loki or Cloak and Dagger. I might go up by plus 31 or 32 or 33, but I've never seen a plus 47. I saw somebody on my team the other day. He went up by plus 47 after the game. So I think what needs to happen is, if you're a duelist and you lose, you need to go down by a lot. Because really, the duelist, you guys are selling a lot of these games. In so many of my games, we have 4 people trying to be a duelist. And then in the game, you'll have duelists doing terrible. They're not putting up any numbers. They're getting destroyed and they refuse to switch. See, at least strategists and tanks, they will switch around. Like, let's say the game's not going very well or they're having a bad game. They might switch down. Like, you might see a tank switch down to a healer and then somebody else will move off of strategist to go up to tank. But that DPS that's doing bad, they just stick with that DPS. So what needs to happen when there's a loss? They need to be going down 30, not going down 16 and 18. You know, if they have a really good game, okay. But if they have one of those bad games, I need to see a negative 47. Just like that guy who went up by 47 because he had a great game. But if you have a terrible game, you need to go down by 47. That's why there's so many incompetent players in these ranks, because they're just playing duelist and they're giving them more points for some reason than everybody else. So if you're going crazy as the duelist, then yeah, you can still go down those little points like 16, 18 or whatever it is. But the guys that are struggling, you keep insta-locking, you refuse to switch, you need to go down by 40 points. Let's make it happen. Let's get them up out of there. Let's get these duelists up out of here. You're always insta-locking at the start of the match, even in competitive. And then sometimes people just shut down. They just stop playing. They might not quit the game, but they stop playing. They stop moving their player. They stay in the spawn. They don't really do anything. Why are these people in competitive? Because remember, now I'm in that plat range. So it's not like I'm in gold 3 and it makes sense because a lot of people are trying to get the free skin. So that's why you're playing it. But once you get that free skin and you make it to gold 2 and then gold 1 and then you're in the plats, if you're getting tilted when you're having a bad game and then you just stop doing anything, you just stand there, why are you playing competitive? You went to competitive because you wanted that smoke. So when you get that smoke, why are you shutting down and just quitting? So if you can't handle that, then what are you doing out here selling? Why are you still playing that? Go back to quick match, baby. Does anybody know why these people are still playing in competitive when clearly they don't want to be competitive? So I'm going to get both of the achievements in one game like a boss. I've been on an incredible journey in Marvel Rivals, discovering everything. Give that guy a map. Merch is now available at chrissmooth.com, shipping worldwide. My songs, He Quit the Game, Lob City, and My Camo are now available on all streaming platforms. But look what I'm gonna do to that. I'm gonna block that dunk. Get that cheese out of here. When I did that, I said, all right, Cap might be the character for me. What rhymes with cash? I just put Doctor Strange to the floor.